For thousands of years, people have been using natural hot springs to relax, restore, and rejuvenate. Built in 2015, the Iron Mountain Hot Springs is Glenwood Springs' newest attraction. Today I'm going to talk to Steve Beckley, owner and visionary behind all of what you see today.
This property was developed in 1896 by Wash Allen, and basically he came here and found a spring and put in a bathhouse and a big three-story Victorian building and some cabins and stuff, and they developed the property, and it was actually quite an endeavor. There's even quotes from the Saturday Evening Post in the 1950s that this is one of the top hot springs in the United States. We tried to take some of the pictures from the old bathhouse and use them to historically capture some of the buildings from the past. So we've really tried to tie the new technology, the new facility, but keep its roots back in the historic opening.
You're also the owner of the Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. Can you talk more about the connection between the Caverns and the Iron Mountain Hot Springs?
When we were developing the cave across the way, I kept seeing this vacant lot over here with this mineral water coming up out of the ground, and thinking what a great opportunity this would be to look at another way to have our guests in Glenwood to enjoy this beautiful scenery and maybe some soaking in the hot springs. This facility sits right across the highway on the river, across from the tramway that goes up to the caverns. Interestingly enough, the Caverns was formed by this same hot springs probably 2.5, 3 million years ago, when the spring was coming out of the cave, which is 1,300 feet higher in elevation than the spring comes out now. So that's how we date the caves. Historically speaking, this hot spring has been here for millions of years, and so knowing that history when we were developing the cave, and knowing that the hot springs made the cave why it is so spectacular, why it has so many formations, why it has so much color in it. I mean, the colors in the cave are brought out by the minerals in the hot springs. Researching that, knowing the hot springs was such a big part of the development of the cave, then seeing that there's this open hot springs right at the foot of the mountain, right next to the tram base, it was only a natural to see if we could buy the property, redevelop the hot springs, and continue the kind of the tie-in between the caverns and the hot springs that formed them.
So tell me about the varying temperatures of the pools and why you chose to do it that way.
One of the things that I noticed when I was traveling to all the different hot springs around the United States, I would ask people what their favorite temperature was, and I could never get one distinct answer. Some people says, well, I really like as hot as you possibly could get it. And then some people said, I like it cool where I can sit in the same water for a long time. The reason we built smaller pools is that way we can control the temperature per pool. So there's 16 different type soaking experiences where the temperatures vary from 98 degrees to 108 degrees. We have some that have rock bottoms, we have some that has infinity edges, we have some that have waterfalls. So every pool has a different temperature, a different experience, so you can wander around, find the pool of your choice, and enjoy the soaking at what you want. And the reason we can do this so easily, we have 4 different water sources. We have one water source that's at 120 degrees, all the way down to our lowest temperature, which is 101 degrees. So we can mix and match these temperatures to get just the right feel for all the pools. And we've really been innovative of how we use this heat. We take the water right from the spring, flow them into the pools. So this water you see in these pools came from the spring less than 5 minutes ago. So it comes right from the spring, goes to these pools, and never is used again in any other pool. So they flow through the pools. We collect that water, and then we take the remainder of the heat and we heat our buildings, we heat our domestic water for showers. We have 22,000 square feet of snow melt throughout the property. So we heat a large freshwater pool. So we utilize all the heat in the water before we discharge the water to the river where it naturally flowed in historically. So in the wintertime, great thing about it is that even though we might have snow around us, 22,000 square feet of walkways are heated. So when you're walking, all the walkways are at 85 degrees, and To me, that's the best experience. When it's cold outside, you're in a 104-degree pool, watching the river, watching the stars. It's my favorite time is in the wintertime to be here.
What does the Iron Mountain Hot Springs bring to the community of Glenwood Springs?
What I'm really proud is that we've taken this piece of property that used to be just a field of weeds, and we've turned it into something that's very beautiful, that everybody in Glenwood could be very proud of. So I look at it and I'm just very happy that it's such a good facility and that it's working. I mean, there's kind of some question, you know, it's kind of a new technology. We're piping these waters to the pools, we're bringing them back, we're taking heat out of it. Was it all this engineering really going to work? And so I'm really happy that it all worked, and it's such a nice facility.